Today we show you one of the strangest of cases where a woman filed a missing complaint in the police station and was proven guilty of the same man's murder a month later. Who was this man who met a gory end? How was the woman proven guilty? Here are all the shocking details.
The dates for Lok Sabha elections were already announced. Bengaluru cops were working hard to ensure that no untoward incident took place in the city. On one of those days, a lady by the name Usha Rani came running into the Micro Layout police station. A resident of Bharati Nagar, Usha Rani claimed that her husband Muniraju had not come home for 2 days. She was in tears as she spoke to the police personnel at the station. The police personnel took Usha Rani to Rajesh, the inspector in charge of the Micro Layout police station. Usha told Inspector Rajesh that Muniraju was nowhere to be found for the last 2 days and that his phone was also switched off. Rajesh consoled Usha and asked one of the lady constables to take her statement. Muniraju, who was a financier by profession, had told his wife that he was going out of town for work but never returned. She also gave Muniraju's mobile number to the cops so that they could use it to trace his location. Inspector Rajesh swung into action immediately. He traced the location and the last calls that were made by Muniraju. His location was traced to Hindupura in Andhra Pradesh. Inspector Rajesh immediately formed a team and headed out to Hindupura in search of Muniraju. Rajesh was informed that an unidentified body was found on the railway track 2 days ago. He approached the railway police to verify if the body was that of Muniraju, but it was not his. The cops helplessly returned to Bengaluru. As soon as they came back, Inspector Rajesh had a doubt that Muniraju might have quarrelled with Usha Rani and left the house. It was for the same reason that he called Usha Rani, her children and other relatives to the police station and interrogated them. According to one of Muniraju's friends, he sounded dull when he spoke to him for the last time. The cops then doubted if he was kidnapped by one of his rival businessmen. One of Muniraju's friends told Inspector Rajesh that he was to give 5 lakh rupees from someone at Mulibagilu and that he must have gone there to collect it from that person. A few days later, Usha Rani approached Inspector Rajesh and told him that she got 2 blank calls from a certain number. When the cops traced the number, it was from a coin box. 10 days had gone by, but Muniraju was still untraced. Usha Rani was helpless. She decided to knock on the doors of the High Court. She accused the cops of not having done their job right. The High Court then sent a notice to Inspector Rajesh and told him to keep the court updated about the case.
Petition had come up before the Honorable High Court of Karnataka relating to the missing of a particular individual, one Muniraju, filed by his wife. She stated that she is missing from 21/3/2014 and his whereabouts are not known. Despite that, they have made a petition to they have filed a large complaint to the police. The Micro Layout police station has not acted in accordance with law. They have not made any efforts to trace trace her husband. In that connection, in fact, she made all efforts. Despite the fact, her allegation was that, in fact, on the other hand, the police officers are threatening her.
Inspector Rajesh's ego was hurt and he decided to crack missing Muniraju's case at the earliest. Though Usha Rani knew of all the efforts that were being put by Inspector Rajesh, she still went ahead and approached the High Court. That made Inspector Rajesh suspicious of her. When Inspector Rajesh inquired the couple's neighbors to learn the kind of relationship that Usha Rani shared with Muniraju, he was shocked to learn that the couple was not too happy with each other. The cops then started tracing Usha's call log to see what she was up to. Usha Rani was at home on the day when Muniraju went missing. Surprisingly, there were over 40 messages that she exchanged with one particular person on the night before Muniraju went missing. The cops were now curious to know who that person was and what messages he exchanged with her. The person was identified as Mahesh. What shocked the cops was that he was Usha Rani's daughter's boyfriend. When Usha was questioned about the exchange of messages, she claimed that it was her daughter who used her phone on the fateful night. The doubt soon faded away when the cops heard Usha's version of the story. However, she was still under the radar of the cops. They wanted to confirm the information provided by Usha from her daughter. The cops were in for another surprise. The cops learned that Usha's daughter was not at home on the fateful night. She was at her grandmother's place in Shantinagar. So then, who used Usha's phone was the question that remained unanswered. Mahesh was taken into custody and interrogated. When his locations were traced on the night when Muniraju went missing, the cops learned that he was close to Muniraju's house for about half an hour. Mahesh had called Usha Rani's daughter a couple of times, but the maximum number of calls on the night were made to Usha Rani herself. The cops had a strong doubt on Mahesh. When they laid their lathis to do the talking, Mahesh confessed to have committed the heinous crime. Mahesh, along with a friend named Satish, had gone to Muniraju's place to put an end to his life. After Mahesh's confession, Satish too was nabbed in no time. The duo revealed to the cops that they killed Muniraju because Usha Rani asked them to do so. Usha was the mastermind behind the plan. Usha was then dragged to the police station to be interrogated. In no time, she too spilled the beans. All the three accused were now in police custody. They told the cops they killed him at his residence and then burnt his body at a eucalyptus farm at Hoskote. The trio took the cops to the spot and showed them the body. Or should we say, the bones that remained of the body. The cops were wondering how his location was being traced to Andhra Pradesh when his body was found at Hoskote.
During the course of the investigation, after the writ petition was filed before Honorable High Court, it reveals that she herself has killed her husband along with two associates, Suresh and Mahesh. And it's to see to it that in order to destroy the evidence, in fact, the body was burnt near near Hoskote, and his mobile was sent to near a place near the Anantapura district in Andhra Pradesh, to see to it that police may not be able to see these locations of a particular individual as such.
Usha then told the cops that it was a part of her plan to have the phone placed in Andhra Pradesh so that she would not get caught. When the cops questioned Usha about why she killed her husband, there was a story that she put in front of them. Usha tied the knot with Muniraju 25 years ago. While Muniraju was a financier himself, Usha too was into the chit fund business. Mahesh was Usha's friend's son, and she took the relationship she shared with him to a whole new level. Yes, she had an illicit affair with Mahesh. Usha and Muniraju quarrelled almost daily. Mahesh took advantage of the situation and not just wooed Usha, but her daughter as well. Usha claimed that Muniraju used to come home in an inebriated state every day and torture her. It was for the same reason that she wanted to kill him. When Usha wanted to kill Muniraju, there was nobody else other than Mahesh whom she could think of to take help from. Mahesh gave Usha a nod and also roped his friend Satish into the plan. The trio was then waiting for the right time to strike. On the fateful day, Usha Rani sent her children to her grandmother's place because she didn't want them to cause any obstacles to her plan. When the path was clear, Usha put 12 sleeping pills into a glass of buttermilk and gave it to Muniraju. As soon as Muniraju gulped the buttermilk, he lost consciousness and fell to the ground. As soon as she confirmed that Muniraju had lost consciousness, she invited Mahesh and Satish over to the house. There were people awake in the locality and hence the duo waited for a while and returned. The next day, Muniraju was still dizzy in the morning. It was at that time that he answered a friend's call. In the afternoon, Muniraju decided to take a nap again. In the meanwhile, Mahesh and Satish barged into the house and smothered him to death. The trio waited for the night to arrive. When the entire locality turned pitch dark, the trio put his body in a vehicle and headed towards a eucalyptus farm at Hoskote. When they arrived at the pre-decided spot, they poured petrol on Muniraju's body and set it ablaze. The trio returned to Usha's house the next morning. Usha gave money to a boy and told him to take Muniraju's phone to Andhra Pradesh and get rid of it on his way back. It was after he returned that she came to the cops and staged the drama of her husband having gone missing. A drama queen indeed. Kiran for News 9, Bengaluru.